The Silk Road was not just an online marketplace, it was the embodiment of a radical ideology. Ross Ulbricht, a 26-year-old libertarian, envisioned a world where individuals could trade freely, unrestricted by government control or laws. A physics graduate turned programmer, Ulbricht created the Silk Road in 2011, naming it after the ancient trade route that connected East and West. It wasn't just a marketplace for goods, but a bold experiment in personal freedom and anonymity. The Silk Road operated on the dark web, an encrypted part of the internet, not accessible through traditional browsers. Using the Tor browser, users could mask their identities, while transactions were conducted in Bitcoin, a decentralized cryptocurrency. This combination of anonymity tools provided a shield against law enforcement, making the marketplace a hub for illegal activities. From its inception, the Silk Road quickly became synonymous with the trade of illicit goods. Drugs made up the majority of listings, ranging from marijuana and cocaine to experimental pharmaceuticals. But the offerings didn't stop there. Users could purchase counterfeit passports, hacking tools, weapons, and even forged college degrees. The marketplace became a one-stop shop for the criminal underworld. One of the unique features of the Silk Road was its community-centric approach. Much like eBay, sellers were rated by buyers for the quality of their products and services. This review system built a level of trust among users in an otherwise risky and illegal ecosystem. Forums thrived with discussions about products, vendors, and even philosophical debates on freedom and morality. Ross Ulbricht, operating under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts, often spoke of his desire to create a free market economy free from the constraints of government intervention. He believed that consenting adults should be able to buy and sell anything as long as it didn't harm others. Despite his lofty ideals, the consequences of his creation were far from utopian. Bitcoin was pivotal to the Silk Road's success. It provided a decentralized and pseudonymous method of payment that kept transactions untraceable. At the time, Bitcoin was a relatively obscure technology, but the Silk Road brought it into the limelight, causing a surge in its adoption. Many early Bitcoin adopters owe their fortunes to the cryptocurrency's use on the Silk Road. By 2012, the rapid growth of the Silk Road caught the attention of global law enforcement agencies. The marketplace had become a haven for drug traffickers and cyber criminals, leading to increased scrutiny. Task forces were formed and undercover agents infiltrated the platform, posing as buyers and sellers. The investigation into the Silk Road was a monumental effort that involved multiple agencies, including the FBI, DEA, and IRS. Agents meticulously pieced together information from forum posts, Bitcoin transactions, and server logs. Their objective was to identify and apprehend the elusive figure behind the Dread Pirate Roberts alias. The Silk Road's infrastructure was sophisticated, but it was not infallible. Law enforcement discovered vulnerabilities, including a misconfiguration that revealed the location of the site's server in Iceland. This breakthrough was a turning point in the investigation, providing critical evidence. While running the Silk Road, Ulbricht led a seemingly normal life. He moved to San Francisco and frequented local cafes, where he worked on his laptop. However, his online persona was far more commanding. As Dread Pirate Roberts, Ulbricht made executive decisions about disputes, vendor removals, and even the alleged commissioning of violent acts. One of the most shocking revelations in the Silk Road case was Ulbricht's alleged involvement in murder-for-hire plots. Investigators found evidence suggesting he had hired assassins to eliminate perceived threats to the marketplace. While these allegations were never fully substantiated, they painted a darker picture of his operations. In October 2013, The FBI arrested Ross Ulbricht in a San Francisco library. Agents waited until he was logged into the Silk Road admin panel to ensure they could gather concrete evidence. His laptop, seized during the arrest, contained detailed logs and communications that linked him directly to the site. Ulbricht's trial in 2015 was highly publicized and polarizing. Prosecutors painted him as a criminal mastermind who profited from the suffering caused by the illegal drug trade. The defense argued that Ulbricht was a scapegoat and that the Dread Pirate Roberts persona had been used by multiple people. Despite the arguments, the evidence against him was overwhelming. Ross Ulbricht was found guilty on all counts, including conspiracy to commit money laundering, computer hacking, and drug trafficking. He was sentenced to 2 life terms without the possibility of parole, a punishment many viewed as excessively harsh. His family and supporters continue to advocate for his release, arguing that the sentence was politically motivated. The Silk Road's downfall did little to deter similar marketplaces. Within months of its closure, new platforms emerged, offering the same services with improved security measures. The cat-and-mouse game between law enforcement and dark web marketplaces continues to this day. The Silk Road had a profound impact on Bitcoin, both positive and negative. While it introduced many to the cryptocurrency, it also associated Bitcoin with illegal activities. Over time, however, Bitcoin has shed much of this stigma and is now widely accepted in mainstream financial systems. The Silk Road raised profound ethical questions about the role of government in regulating individual freedoms. Advocates argue that it reduced violence by creating a safer way to purchase drugs, while critics highlight the societal harm caused by unchecked illegal trade. Beyond the ideological debates, the Silk Road left a trail of destruction. Families were torn apart by addiction. Vendors faced violent retribution in the offline world, and Ross Ulbricht's life was irrevocably changed. The marketplace's rise and fall serve as a cautionary tale about the unintended consequences of technological innovation. Ross Ulbricht remains imprisoned, serving his life sentence in a maximum security facility. He has become a symbol for debates about mass incarceration, internet freedom, and the role of technology in society. His supporters continue to campaign for clemency, citing his nonviolent nature and the severity of his punishment. The story of the Silk Road is a complex tapestry of innovation, crime, and consequence. It highlights the double-edged sword of technological progress, where tools designed for liberation can also facilitate harm. As society grapples with the implications of the dark web, the Silk Road stands as a pivotal chapter in the history of the internet. The story of the Silk Road is a complex tapestry of innovation, crime, and consequence. It highlights the double-edged sword of technological progress, where tools designed for liberation can also facilitate harm. As society grapples with the implications of the dark web, the Silk Road stands as a pivotal chapter in the history of the internet.